Today's doodle, illustrated by Sydney, Australia-based guest artist Mark Monk Ross, celebrates Indigenous Australian world champion bantamweight boxer Lionel Rose. As the first Indigenous Australian to win a World Championship sports title, Rose was inducted into the Sport Australian Hall of Fame on this day in 1985. Lionel Edmund Rose was born on June 21, 1948, into poverty in the Indigenous Australian settlement of Jackson's Track, where he faced intense discrimination. He idolized his father, a two-time Australian lightweight champion who trained Rose using only rags as gloves. At just 15, he won his first amateur flyweight title, and by 1964, Rose went pro. Following a triumphant 15-round decision victory in Tokyo over Japanese champion Masahiko fighting Hirata, Rose made history in 1968 as the second Australian teenager and first Indigenous Australian fighter to win a world title. He quickly became renowned for his lightning-fast reflexes and tenacious counter-punches and returned home from Japan to an estimated 250,000 people in the streets of Melbourne celebrating his success, the largest welcome home to date in Australian sports. Rose was also a skilled singer and guitar player, even recording a chart-topping country album after meeting the king of rock and roll himself, Elvis Presley. In 1968, Rose became the first Indigenous Australian person honored as Australian of the Year. He successfully defended his title in 3 consecutive matches until he relinquished the belt in 1969. Remembered as a generous and humble leader, he retired in 1976 as a national hero and one of the greatest Australian athletes of all time. Thank you for fighting for future generations of Indigenous Australian athletes, Lionel Rose.